MC Benny.
Come on, East Africa.
Ha.
This a party.
Tell them. Afrika Mashariki. Twaja pamoja.
From country to country, yeah. We got to work together. We are leaders now. Aiming high for the better. Together. To make our nations greater. While sharing to the power. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality.
Together we shape with responsibility as young people. With ability, here we are to take the opportunity to raise the flag of East Africa. Together with love, together with peace, together respond to our need. Together transform our community as we see light and a brighter future. Let's join hands for youth and women. Let's join hands for youth and women.
Afrika Mashariki yote twaungana. Vijana vijana kutoka Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Burundi hadi South Sudan na Rwanda. Twaja pamoja ili fanye nini?
YouLead.
Vijana wote. Aha.
I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live now. We are immediately gonna start off the program. We have a wonderful session lined up for you today as we wait for even other people to join. But Africa, good evening or good afternoon or good morning.
Good
I don't know. I don't know if the places that's morning. Beatrice, Kemi, Divine, Denaya, talk to us.
Hello, everyone, wherever you're tuning in.
Hey yo. How are you guys?
Nice, love the part.
Cool.
Yep. Beatrice, over to you. Want to introduce the panel so far, who we have on the show?
Absolutely. I hope you guys are ready for an evening or an hour of excitement of listening to beautiful stories of young individuals that have been doing amazing in their respective fields and in their respective countries. And we also have a guest. And she will be, I will introduce, I think this is like good news. We probably need to hold it in a bit. But we have a special guest joining us today. And we are excited to introduce you to her and to what she's going to be doing. She's already shaking. You'll see who it is.
Yeah.
And we have two beautiful guests with us, Danaya Dennis and Akimana Divine. Danaya Dennis has turned off the video for a bit, but Akimana looking beautiful, and she's joining us from Rwanda.
Yeah.
As usual, our sessions are 1 hour, so I hope you're ready to stay 1 hour to hear these beautiful stories. But we also have a round of trivia questions for you.
Yep.
And of course, our YouLead songs and little documentaries will be playing in between, so you get to hear a bit more of what we're doing and what we're up to. I am your host, Beatrice Marandu, Tanzania, and I am part of the YouLead Africa program. Co-hosting with me today is Franklin, and he will introduce himself. So Franklin, let's go through the round of introductions, starting with you, and then to our lovely guest, Fiona. I will get to you.
Great. As Beatrice has mentioned, my name is Franklin Mireri, Kenyan but adopted by Tanzania. And we're looking forward to this wonderful show. Let me allow Beatrice to guide us in the introductions for our guests. You choose who to start.
let's start with our special guest will be the last one. Let's start with Danaya Dennis, tuning in from where? Let us know. Danaya Dennis, and your video, please. We encourage videos. Hey, there he is.
You lead, I lead, we lead together.
With your ride, with your people.
I know, I see you're right in the back.
Yeah, I'm just home, man. I'm just home. I'm just keeping, home here. But yeah, my name is Denaya Dennis. I am here in Juba, and I'm the executive director for Connector Hub. Today, I'm so much excited being an alumni of YouLead program. You guys are so exciting. Since then, the conversation has been on, the engagements have been on, and that's something I loved about it. Today, I'm excited to be here with you guys. And yeah, I look forward to learning more.
Hey, you should be looking forward to sharing your story as director of Connector Hub. I'm going to be probing you a bit on that so you can share your story and how you got to that point. Young people want to know the struggles and the benefits of pushing and and persevering through all those challenges. The next
No
guest,
problem.
Akimana Devine, the beautiful Akimana Devine. Guys, can we get a thumbs up for how good she looks? Thumbs up for how good she looks, eh?
Amazing.
Akimana, let us know who you are and where you're tuning in from.
I'm Akimana Divine, tuning in from Rwanda, Kigali. I'm a writer, YouLead Alumni, poet, human rights advocate, and yeah, I think that sums it up.
Okay, she has a basket of titles in her, so we'll get to pick more on that as well.
So
I am definitely interested to hearing about the writer. I know, right? I'm interested to hear a lot more about the writing aspect. That's probably, there's something huge in store for you guys from her, so you get to hear more about it. And our special guest, drum roll or a round of thumbs. Fiona Kemigisha. She will be introducing herself and what special role she's going to be playing from here onwards with us.
Yeah.
Fiona.
Hi, everybody. I should say hi, Africa, because I know there's a whole lot of us out here from different places. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here finally. Tiny bit nervous, but mostly.
Someone has entered.
Joining in right now. Kindly mute your mic as you come in so we're able to hear our guests. Thank you.
Okay.
So as you're joining in, please be mindful and mute your mic so we're able to hear the conversations. And we will also be allowing room for questions. So get prepared to ask. And once you hear the stories, of course, and probe into their life stories and wanting them to share more. So Fiona, you were sharing with us a bit more about yourself. So we could hear it now.
All right. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. My name is Fiona Kemigisha. I go by Fiona Kemi on my different social media platforms. I am a digital content creator. I'm also a lawyer, which is a little known fact. But media is yeah, but media is a part of later in life. So this is what I do. I host things, I create content online, I talk to people, love conversation, and I'm very excited to be in this space with young people who want to do stuff. So I can't wait. I will be, you'll be seeing me a lot more from now on because I'll be hosting this space very often. So get used to this space. So yeah, let me stop there. Let these guys. Thank you.
I want to start off on I want
the
to start
lower
off
part.
her little. Sorry, Franklin.
I was saying you gave a cheer because of the low part.
Yes, and that's what I'm starting with. Guys, we all have little hidden secrets and great gems that we need to bring out in people. I myself have a lot to do. So let me just put that out there. And I know Akimana Devine, since she raised her hands, has a little bit of something to share on that topic. So we'll begin with her. Akimana, let's hear your story, huh? From being a human rights activist to being a writer and being a YouLead alumni, which we're very proud of and happy to have had you in YouLead Summit. And we're happy to see the progress you've made. And we cannot wait for you to share it with the rest of Africa. So Akimana, tell us your story. How did you go from human rights activist to being a writer? And just in brief, a snapshot of who you are.
Of who I am. That's a good question.
You can start with one word that describes you, and then you can go into why that word is significant to you, and then how it relates to your career.
Well, I have no degree in human rights advocacy, but it's just, I think it's passion and it's the love of people that led me to do it through literature. Yeah, so I don't have an NGO that helps people per se. I just speak for those who can speak. On social media, in my community. So I don't have a specific NGO that does that. I just work with NGOs that do that. Yeah, so I don't like violence. I don't like violence, injustice. I don't have I didn't do law, but I don't like injustice at all. So most especially with women and children, when I see a child being abused or violated, I just fight. It's a reflex. Yeah, so I do that through art and poetry mostly. Yeah. What else? I'm a poet, just like I said. I do the advocacy through literature, and I do mental health advocacy too. As a person who has struggled with it for a long time, which brings me to my book, Scars That Shape Us.
You revealed the secret that I was going to bring out later on.
I'm sorry. But when I say that I'm a writer, that's what comes up under advocacy. But we can stop from here and we continue about it later.
Absolutely. I just want to ask, I want to comment on one thing. You said you don't, no one should condone violence and you don't tolerate it, especially now in the midst of COVID-19. We know there's a lot of home-based violence that is occurring at home for young women and girls and whatnot. So I'm happy to hear that you're committing to also supporting that journey to combat the violence-based issues that are coming out, especially during this time and context that we're living in. So let me just also give a bit of light to Danaya Dennis over here to give us a bit of who he is and just share with the whole of Africa about who you are. What's your story? I need one word that describes you. Akimana, you have not given me one word. I will come back to you on that.
Yeah, we also need to find out which year that Divine was at YouLead Summit, which year that was.
I will get to that as well. We will get to that as well.
Let me be patient.
So Danaya, let's get to that. One word that describes you and to where you have gotten, how it relates to your career and how it's brought you to being the director of Connector Hub.
Thank you so much, Beatrice and everyone who's here. As we all know, we are part of the YouLead 2019. For me, I'm part of the 2019 YouLead team from South Sudan. One thing that describes me is that I am an innovator. That's what I call myself. Basically, my career is in ICT, And when I just came in from the States after attending the Mandela Washington Fellowship, I had that burning fire in me, like, what do I want to do? That question has been in my mind. It's like, I really have to do something. And so when I came back, the energy was big. And then I got to know about the YouLead program. And then I try to engage with the team down here in South Sudan, and knowing that I also have colleagues in East Africa whom I want to meet, because I want to know what is happening in the East African region and what I can do, for example, in my community. And so when I went there, it was like another fire, being ignited. It's like, there's a fire here, so please go and do something. So that when I came back, and that's when I started the conversations on digital rights, digital inclusion, innovation, and then the digital divide, because this is something that has affected us so much. Even when I was applying for YouLead, I realized I had a lot of challenges because the portal, having those skills was not easy. So I'm like, that is what I want to do, so that I can support other young people who cannot get opportunities because they don't have the skills to get to them. So after YouLead, I came back home and then started meeting with the young people, started a chat group. One thing from YouLead that changed me was, the group discussions when we sat, and then I was in the group that was talking about AI, artificial intelligence, because that was of interest to me, artificial intelligence and entrepreneurship. So those two conversations were so important to me, and they changed my mindset and how I looked at things. I knew that, we have to begin conversations back home and start introducing young people to know what is coming up in the world of technology. So since then, I founded Connector Hub, where we have now an innovation place where young people come in, they learn digital skills, and also we, give them skills on entrepreneurship and how to be, creative. We normally do the human-centered design, which was a very good approach, to entrepreneurship and providing community-led solutions. So since then, my life has never been, the same. And if you go to my profile, I mention myself as a YouLead alumni, and I'm so much proud. And that has been my journey so far. Maybe some questions you want to ask me later on how I'm doing this, I'll be glad to answer. Yeah.
You've already started.
Another thing. Yeah, another thing, I came there as an artist because I do music. I came there, two things. I wanted to know what is happening and how I can be innovative, and also, to sell my music. For those of you who attended, I was somewhere and I also doing music, throughout.
Again, guys, our guests have many talents, and you will get to hear about it as they speak more and more. They'll drop the hints. And Danaya has already started the conversation I was going to pick at. It's their experience in YouLead Summit and the opportunities it provides. He has mentioned how he came from YouLead Summit and he started Connector Hub. He is one of the innovation hubs we also work with, and we hope this year we'll be able to tap into the pool of entrepreneurs in South Sudan alongside Danaya. So Danaya, I'm happy to hear the progress you've made since attending YouLead Summit 2019. Maybe we could also hear the same experience from Akimana. First, you guys are not sharing with me that one word. We need that one word that describes you, and then your experience in YouLead Summit and how it's impacted you. Akimana, I remember you from 2019 because we had quite a moment. In 2019, we went through our ups and downs in that summit. But
Yeah.
I want to hear your experience. What did you take away from that experience in 2019? But first, give me that one word. I need that one word that describes you.
I really can't find that word. I can't.
At least the word of the year, the word that you're using to describe yourself this year. Mine is surviving. I'm on survival mode, and everything I do, I'm making sure that I'm able to take care of myself. I'm able to live and thrive through everything. I'm surviving through everything, but living as well.
I wish I could have thought about that, because now I want to copy. Yeah, but I can't think of a word right now, but I'll come back to it.
No
my
problem.
my experience with YouLead, I attended once YouLead 2019. Yeah, it was my first time, and we kind of came late, so I missed the pajama party, which I was really excited about. Yeah, but so we reached in the morning, and we had to go for the first day, which was for politics. Yeah, and I was really inspired by so many young people who are passionate about this continent, which is really, it gives me hope that this continent has so many people who are fighting for it, and it's kind of refreshing. So what I got from there, the experience, the people, I didn't know. So there are different people from different countries, and we felt it felt like a family. I connected with people from Tanzania, South Sudan, places I haven't been to, but they were so welcoming and warm, and they made the experience really, really good. And networking. So I got to meet those people who were very friendly, and we shared the experiences. They shared their time. I mean, their passion in politics, in business. The second day, which was for youth in business, so I got to be in the team of women who we were supposed to do for women in business, and it was really interesting. And unfortunately, we didn't continue the connection, but it made me do more research about women in business, especially women on borders, the challenges they face, and I got to learn about it. Though I can't say I'm a writer and I published, but I don't think I'm so much in business. I'm learning too, because it's kind of mandatory in this life, you have to do, but I loved the passion of politicians in Uganda and Kenya. You guys, your countries and safe hands. Yeah. So, and then there is a Vijana Assembly, which was really good. So the whole experience was really nice. Apart from the struggles we had, me and Beatrice, but we overcame them, and it was really nice.
Even you mentioned our countries are in safe hands. I think Fiona cringed. She was like, "What do you mean?"
Well, it might not seem like that right now, but the fact that young people are doing their best to correct whatever is going wrong, that means we're on the right road. That means we're doing something right.
Absolutely. I agree with that sentiment. Franklin, why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because I think Fiona just thought, and she was like, "Hey, safe hands," and she was looking like, and I'm thinking that she was thinking of her current situation in Uganda, and me also in Kenya. I'm like, safe hands, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. The future is now, and the future, that the youth that are fighting with the past, which is on right now, they're doing their best, and that means something. It's not the same as if we gave up and we just let the mess keep going on. So we are doing something.
Great.
That means a lot.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's great to hear.
Yep.
So before we go into the next series of questions, and just to drop it right now, Akimana has written a book called The Scars That Shape Us, and other poems. She will be sharing a bit more about that and how it's the journey she experienced getting to the point of sharing her thoughts, her opinions on the scars that get us to where we are right now. For those of you tuning in live, please feel free to drop your name and a question, and my colleague Franklin will be able to capture it and pose it to the guest speakers, or if it's to us, YouLead Africa, will be happy to respond to them. And for those of you who are with us on Zoom live, please feel free to drop your questions, if you have any, for Akimana, Danaya, Fiona, myself, or Franklin. Drop them in the chat, and we'll give a few spots to 2 or 3 to ask their questions live with us. In the meantime, we're going to go into a few trivia questions. We did
Yay.
say we're here for fun, right? Yeah. So let's see how well you know your continent. Franklin, take us there.
Awesome. My favorite part. We get to check the
Guys,
temperature.
I'm bad with geography. I'm just going to declare that right now.
We get to check the temperature of people's brains. Literally.
Literally.
Yeah. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me just put out a disclaimer that no one knows the questions, even the hosts and the guests. Okay.
Yep.
So
We're all learning on the go.
everyone on Facebook, this is just a heads up, also on Zoom. So feel free, Alice, Andrew, everyone here, Bol, Niang, Denaya, Elizabeth, Fiona, Guy, Laban, everyone, Nema. So we are going to project the questions and
I will
then,
read it out.
yep. So we are almost ready with the questions. Just a minute to check that we are ready.
While he's setting up, for those of you joining us in Zoom, please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat as well. We're also going to be reading comments on the chat as we go along. I see Irene Nelson. Akimana, I have a question for you, beautiful woman. Ooh, great start to the question. We will get to that after our questions.
Mhm. So, drum rolls.
Hey.
First question. And this one you don't need even to know, we don't need to know your geography, history, or anything, but here's the first question. Yeah, of course, the guests, we know them. Yeah, there they are. Beautiful looking, wonderful, handsome. First question. As we go. So Beatrice, you want to read them?
Which African president received a COVID-19 vaccine this week? Oh, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Guys,
Yes.
guys, this one is hitting home for you. If any of you know where I'm from, you know.
Surely,
You're
Beatrice.
hitting, I'm giving people hints. They need the hints. Drop them in the chat on our Facebook page and on Zoom, and we'll be watching out for the responses. Laban Boaz, we see you have your hand raised. I hope it's for the answer to this question.
Probably he wants to share it.
You wish to share it? Drop. Let's hear. Let's give him 1 minute to hear what he has to say. Laban, let's go. Your name quickly, and then
My name is Laban Boaz. Hello.
We hear you.
Where are you tuning in from?
I'm tuning from Dar es Salaam.
Karibu.
Yeah, so I just needed to respond to the question. She's president
Okay.
from Tanzania. Mama
And who
Samia.
is that?
Love
Sorry?
Nice to see you guys. I'm here.
Did we catch the answer? Is it the correct one, Franklin?
Yeah, he did. By coincidence, he's from Dar es Salaam. He's president. Yeah, so he got it. Yeah, he got it. The answer is His Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan. That is the answer.
Also, a little birdie has told me on Facebook, people have been dropping the correct answers. As well. So shout out to our president, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, for showing courage and taking the first step to combating the COVID-19, the global pandemic that is currently ongoing. Franklin, do you want to have one more question, or we go on to the next question?
There's actually two more. Second question. There we go. Now this one. Want to read it out?
Which country's football match at the Olympics ended 3-2? This one I will not even, I will not attempt.
The current Olympics.
Fiona, Akimana, Denaya. Do you have any football fanatics?
I can't see the chat. Beatrice, help me see who is dropping answers at the chat.
I'm checking the chat. Danaya, are you a football fanatic? Let us know. Do you know who ended?
I'm not a football fan, so I.
But there's a hint. Look at the photo.
That one, you can give me 0. I don't know those guys.
Could that be France and South Africa?
Oh yeah, someone got it. Someone said it.
Who said it?
I have no idea who was that.
On our Facebook, do we have any correct answers?
AP Johnson from Uganda.
Oh, Happy Johnson from Uganda. You said South African fans, right?
Sure, South African France.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. And that's the answer.
Oh God, I really need to catch up with the generation that's interested in football.
Thank you from
Guys, I'll get
Uganda.
there.
Awesome. Now, probably Beatrice, this will be yours to get right because I know you have something for this next genre coming up. Want to read it?
Let's see. Which African musician's song is currently at number 12 in the Apple Music Global Hot 100? My only guess to this one is probably Burna Boy, but I don't know which song.
Yeah. Now you have no excuse. This one, people have to find it.
Come on, guys, let us know which African musician's song is currently at number 12 in Apple Music's Global Hot 100. I see Laban has raised his hand. Could we also check on Facebook where we have live feedback on there as well, just so we're not leaving out people. Our slogan is leaving no one behind. We need to adhere to that. In the meantime, we're getting great introductions on our chat. This is Musa Konea from Sierra Leone. Nice to have you on the call all the way from Sierra Leone, guys. We're reaching all corners of Africa. Ayon Mugisha is saying, it is my first time to be here with YouLead and it's really fun. That is the essence of YouLead Unplugged, to have fun. We have Sam Karti Peters joining us from Liberia, and this is your first time experiencing YouLead Africa. Well, there's many more coming along the way, so please feel free to tune in on Facebook. We'll be sharing updates and posts on when we'll be hosting the next session, and who knows, you might be a lucky guest on our platform. And then we have Nema from Tanzania. Guys, karibuni. For those of you that know Swahili, it means welcome. And for the rest of the continent, guys, please feel free. On Facebook.
I saw two raised hands.
I see two raised hands as well. But do we have an answer for our question before we get to the raised hands? If not, then we will get to the raised hands.
Let's see. I think probably the raised hands are the ones who want to check, who want to.
Laban, we gave you the last shot in the previous question, so let's open it up to a new voice. Let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correct. I'm really bad with names. I'm just going to declare that right now. Zabron Kamau, just introduce yourself, where you're from, and give us the answer to the question if you have it. Just unmute yourself.
Zabron Kamau. It's Zabron, right? Zabron Kamau, someone like that.
I guess he's having a bit of technical issues. So if you can share your answer in the chat, that would also be great. But for those who are able to respond, I see Guy Chengula has unmuted himself. Would you like to share the answer for us? Or just quickly come on board and introduce yourself. 1 minute.
Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Yep.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Guy Chengula from
Where are you
Tanzania, Dar es Salaam.
Nice to
come from. Yes, I'm come from Tanzania, Dar es Salaam.
Nice to have you.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have an answer for our question?
No, but what I can say is just I'm happy to. I don't have an answer of the question that's so.
No worries. Nice to have you.
Yeah.
Nice to have you, Guy, and hopefully maybe the next question you'll be able to get it. Franklin, on Facebook, do we have any?
No answer yet, but probably we could give Laban a chance.
Laban, over to you. Just unmute yourself if you were, okay, there you go.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for the chance, but I think it's just a matter of technical issue. Hello?
Oh, okay.
It's a matter
I'm
of
afraid
technical
someone is.
This question is at least hectic to me, so I'm fearing here.
Denaya is saying someone is Googling. It's okay, Google.
Google, Uncle Google is your best friend. Let's give a round to our guests. Fiona, Akimana, do you guys have a hint of what song from an African musician is trending right now on Apple Music?
I'm ashamed to say I have no idea whatsoever.
And I thought I was old school. But people don't know.
Frankie, where did you dig up this question from? Because I'm a music fanatic, but this one I don't even know myself.
No, from yesterday, I saw it yesterday trending online. It was actually trending online yesterday.
Ooh. Well, since we're also running out of time, maybe you'd like to give us the answer so we
okay, drum rolls.
Hey!
And some of you are gonna pinch yourselves. You're gonna pinch yourselves.
Burna Boy, I'm going to crawl in a hole and just hide away. Wizkid and Thames. Oh!
Yep, that's it. So yeah.
Anyone tuning in from West Africa, you should have told us this. These are your artists. These are your peeps.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. Over to you, Beatrice.
Thank you, Franklin. So back to our guests, and I'll start with Danaya. So what we do as well on this platform is we don't always like to showcase just the success. We also want to hear about the struggles. You said you're now the director of Connector Hub, following your participation in YouLead Summit. Tell us the struggles you face trying to start Connector Hub. It could cut across financially. It could cut across people having trust in you as a young director in South Sudan. It could cut across the politics you had to face in order to start up your organization. So Danaya, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much. As you always start a new initiative, or else when you want to do a business or run a startup, there are always questions you have to ask yourself. Number one is you cannot work alone, so you need to work with a team. So the first question is like, who am I going to bring in my team? Somebody who can catch up with the vision of what I really want to be done. And then, someone who will be there like anytime you want to be there, like a team. That's the first question. And always I had been struggling even to get someone who will, catch vision, like this is where we want to go. And that is not only a challenge to me, but with many startups. And that's why many startups fail, because they don't get the right team, the kind of people that they want to work with, leave alone, getting finances, because that is always the first thing. Like, you want to do something, where do you have the finances? To me, as Danaya, from my networking and what I learned, is that if you want to do something, the first thing is the idea. What idea do you have? Because if you have the idea, then you will know where to get the finances and the money from. And exactly when I started, basically like in South Sudan, the kind of connection that I have, because the idea I want to do is totally new in the country. Like, very few people are doing it, and starting it from zero, like, who is going to buy the idea? Somebody might be like, but does this really make sense? Because we are in an era where, for example, in my place, you talk about technology and things like that, nobody pays attention to you, because the country is paying attention to something else. The country is thinking about peace. So that's like a priority to everyone. So here you want to talk about digital inclusion, innovation, and stuff like that. So it becomes a really, really big challenge. And, I had to persist. I'm like, my chase. I don't get people who will be like really there for me. I have to keep on doing this. So many times I organize events. I started online. When I started Connector, we started online events where we host webinars like this, and we used to stream on our Facebook page. And I get people, trying to like the ideas of the things that we're trying to bring. Then we talk about innovation. The first training that we did on human-centered design was not easy. Even doing the training alone was not an easy thing. So the challenge is one, as I said, starting from getting the right team. Always, if you don't get the right team when you want to do something, that is a very, very big challenge, because you can either succeed or fail, because nobody is there for you. And another thing is that the kind of resources that we want, for example, the kind of network we want, there are things that I need to know, for example, about innovations. I need to get connected. I need to learn from others. And in South Sudan, it's not there. So like, there's no one you can refer to, like, I want to learn from, because our country is still growing up. If I look to someone in Rwanda or else in Tanzania, it will be a different case, because like the ecosystem is different. They have good internet, they have things that enable them to do research and also to develop content. But here it was a little bit different. So to me, it was a journey that I was committed to it no matter what, based on what I learned from people, those outside in my networks, because all that I am doing now, I learned from Tanzania. I have few colleagues. I have a colleague who is in Dar es Salaam right now. He's a lecturer at the university, and he's into agri-tech. He's trying to do a lot of innovations. So many times I'm on chat with him, like, hey, buddy, what is happening? When I don't do this, what should I do? And also other guys across the continent who are there, like, they can ask them questions and they're willing to support you. So this kind of support, I don't get it down here on the ground, and it has been a challenge. However, I persisted that I have to be who I am today. And today I have a very big network, by the way. I'm so much excited that from the YouLead platform, I'm able to meet other young people who are passionate in business and they want to do innovations. I met this young man in Uganda whom we have been talking a lot, and we chat all the time. And then also other networks. If you have been following Connector, for example, from our social media, we have been accepted to be part of the Afri Labs, where now we join hundreds of innovation labs and hubs in Africa generally. And South Sudan, we have 3. I was surprised that we have these 3, but yeah, we are trying to also see how we can work together. Above all, I will say get the right team for yourself, and then the resources that you want so you can refer to. So these have been my challenges, and I was able to overcome them by not only depending on myself, but the people in my network that I met.
Thank you, Danaya. You mentioned something around human-centered design, focusing on the needs of people to creating solutions based on human perspectives. And this needs me to bring up Akimana and her passion for human rights. And there was also a question in the chat, which is in line with what I was going to ask anyway, from Irene Nelson, coming from Tanzania. She's asking you, Akimana, what challenges do you face when working and fighting for human rights? We know that at the moment, there are a lot of human rights violations occurring. COVID-19 has brought various contexts all across every sector. So specifically regarding human rights and the work that you do as a human rights activist, but also in relation to your book, The Scars, if I remember correctly the name, The Scars that led to who you are. Just share with us a bit the challenges that you face as a human rights activist, but how it also helped you generate to the writings that you've been doing in terms of your poems and your book, so that we can all go through this journey with you in this moment for the next 20 minutes. Akimana?
Thank you. So the challenges I face most of the time are bullies. People who don't think some actions are violence. People who think there are bigger problems than someone's mental state, or people who still think there are some punishments that are not extreme to their knowledge, which most of the time is not true. So yeah, bullies and victims that it is still hard to it's so hard to help people who still find it hard to speak up. Yeah, so you don't know who to speak for if you don't know the problems. You're seeing them, but you can't really fight it if someone is not willing to work with you. Yeah. So it helped me write. I wrote the book from my personal experience. So that's the only way I could help, because I didn't want to. Many people didn't want me to speak to put their stories out. So I used my own experience. Yeah. So I think those are the challenges: bullies, yeah, and the fear of people coming to societies that still judge us to speak up. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
It does to a certain extent, but I wanted you to pick a bit more. I'm seeing comments in the chat as well. Irene Nelson is saying, how can we get the book? I really want to read it. Maybe she can share a bit more on where it is and how they can access it before we move on to the next segment. Would you like to share that?
Yeah. So that's another book challenge, which is not the question you asked. But right now, it's available on Amazon, Amazon.com, the hard copy and soft copy. Yeah. So in Africa, I don't know if there is any bookshop that has it so far, except in Rwanda. Yeah, but people in East Africa, I'm finding a way of sending them. So you can just text me and we collaborate on how it can get to you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Akimana, for sharing that.
On Amazon, it is Scars That Shapers, Akimana Divine. You will find the whole details.
Thank you so much. Guys, feel free to check out. Irene is saying, thank you, Akimana. She loves you. Thank you for sharing a bit around your experience around bullies and how you overcame that and how you came to writing your book and sharing your thoughts and experiences on fighting for the rights of young people, but also how you're showcasing that. We know that we're in the process of voicing out young people's opinions, whether it comes in forms of innovation, books, poetry, art, music, and whatnot. So we're happy to hear that you've been able to share your experience through the book, and we hope that you succeed. We wish you a lot of success with the book. Now, just to lighten it up a bit, do we have a few more questions for our audience, Franklin?
Well, not yet. I'm done with trivia questions for today, but we could move up the segment where we introduce the audience, the public. We unveil, we share Fiona Kemi with the rest of the world. We could move that up. So Fiona, by the way, let me just say, first time I heard of you, I immediately Googled, and it brought, like, you know, the people who, when you Google, the result is only like the Facebook page, Twitter, if we are lucky. But for Fiona, it brought results and results. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we share with you an incoming team member who is going to be part of the hosting team for YouLead Unplugged series moving forward, Fiona Kemi from the Republic of Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, let us just hear from her in terms of what she's doing right now, and the digital content creation space that she's doing, and also she's passionate about entrepreneurship. So we're going to be hearing more about that as the year progresses. But Fiona, let me not preempt anything. Just say hi to the audience, and then I'll throw the second question.
Okay, thank you, Franklin, for that very emphatic introduction. Again, my name is Fiona. I am a digital content creator. I feel like even that term sometimes is a bit, what does that mean? What does that mean? Essentially, I'm a creative person who comes up with different types of content on the social media space, whether it's on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. You'll find me in all of those spaces talking about a wide range of things. I started out with natural hair because I'm very passionate about natural hair, not just as an aesthetic, but even as
Let me just touch my
as
hair. Some of us have no hair to start with.
Please let us know.
Yeah, so I started out as but I've always loved being on stage. Like, it was a passion for me growing up. I was those kids who are on stage all the time. So, one thing just led to another, and I started talking about a whole range of different things. I kind of stepped from natural hair, and then we're talking about just like being a human being, growing up, being a woman, moving from formal employment to employing myself now, being a creative in a fairly traditional society, busting those traditional setups and trying to live out of that. So yeah, so now that's what I'm doing. That's how I ended up here, networking with other people that are interested in this type of work. And I'm so excited about being here. I'm so jealous that I missed all these other summits. People are here talking about pajama parties. I don't know what. I'm like, I missed some good times. So yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. I know I'm going to learn a lot from you guys. I'm going to learn so much. I'm happy that I'm going to be able to be in a space that's so diverse, so just people from different spaces, and that we can share something and learn something from each other. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
I know Mugisha Rusi Jonas, Foundation Africa, is saying, happy to meet you, Fiona, from my homeland. Hey, that one is a direct welcome from Mahomi, or I don't know, I think probably it's a lady also. And also there's Musa is saying, great, Musa Kone, great to have you. So let me be honest, some of us are pretending to be using headphones, but it's because we don't have a lot of hair. We just want to hide. We just want to hide that. So you mentioned hair, you mentioned law, you mentioned business, you mentioned digital content creation. Fiona, there's so much that we actually want to learn from you as you become part of the hosting team. So before the rest of the continent and the diaspora picks your content or brain, I wanted to ask a question. Do you have any Kenyan affiliation? Have you been to Kenya, the East African, the country that's happening the most after Uganda?
Yes. So I did my postgraduate diploma in legal practice from the Kenya School of Law. So I lived in Kenya for 2 years. I consider Kenya my third home. I say third because Uganda is first, and then mom is Rwandan, so Rwanda is number 2, and then Kenya is home number 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm East Africa there.
Okay. Hey, Kenya is number 3. Oh, so you actually did some study time in Kenya, right?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
I have so many to say about over there. It's another home of mine. Yeah.
Okay, Beatrice, you want to shoot something off to Fiona?
I don't. I'm just really excited. I'm enthusiast,
Great,
But
great.
I'm excited to have Fiona, her energy, the experience she has being a young entrepreneur. We're going to be learning a lot from one another moving forward. And that is what YouLead is here for. Doing these unplugged sessions. You get to hear experiences from young people all across East Africa, and hopefully we'll be hosting some from across the continent. We see a lot of engagement all across Sierra Leone and whatnot. So feel free to reach out to us and we see how to bring you on board. And if not, follow our social media and catch up with the next session that's
yeah.
do you have any questions for our Yes, Franklin.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Divine and Dennis, because we are entering into that season where, of course, there's the Olympics. I just wanted to ask, and you can choose to answer or not, whether you've played any sport, Divine, whether you've played any sport, Dennis, whether you've played any sport, and even if not playing, what's your favorite sport in terms of one that you could watch? Yes, let's begin. Ladies first. Divine, a sport that you could play or watch?
Tennis.
Oh, tennis.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's for the rich.
For the rich. I'm bad with coordination in terms of my body, so that requires a lot of mental to hand coordination.
Yeah, that's why I like it. It touches all the areas.
Hey, tennis. Those are games. Why I've said it for the rich, because by the time you find a tennis court, some of us where we grew up, and a racket. Anyway, thank you, Divine, for that. Danaya, I saw you with your guitar. Plus, I see people are joining in. There are people who have been very faithful to this program. Lubanga Dennis, wonderful team. They always come for the unplugged session. Danaya Dennis, share with us your favorite sport, one that you play or you'd watch.
I used to play soccer, football, but now I resigned from football. I think my body does not allow me to play anymore. So I played occasionally, but what I do is I go hiking many times.
I see. If you, can I comment on Danaya real quick, guys? Me and football shall never be in good faith. The last time I played football, I got hit on the face as a goalkeeper. That was the last time I played football. No.
Fiona wants to also share. Fiona, are you a goalkeeper?
Sorry about getting hit in the face. Was really.
Fiona, you're saying?
I just wanted to say, when Danaya was talking about the sport he plays, okay, do you know me? I was thinking, because his backgrounds have changed like a couple of times. I was thinking he's going to say, because he has teleported today. It's like he's in different countries, just like.
Yeah. So I changed my sport. This is what I play most of the time, and this has been my body. So many times I get time for this. But I don't take it as a sport. So no, I used to play soccer.
Okay, well, that's great. Teleporting could be one of the sports, as Fiona said. Let's see. Beatrice, so over to you to wrap it up with our guests, as we have 4 minutes left.
Fiona, what's your sport? I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, sports never. It's never been a strong point. I was always on stage. That was me in school. I was for the sports group in seconds. So I'm hoping.
Well, thank you, Fiona Dennis and Akimana, for sharing that. I'm seeing in the chat as well, people are sharing their interests. There are some who are saying, Dennis Lubaga is saying you don't want to break your leg playing football, but he likes basketball. I mean, if you're a tall individual like myself, basketball is a good choice. And then we have I really hope I pronounce this name correctly. Tiruwak says he likes Tiruwak says he likes traveling, and Irene says she likes playing red. Guys, listen. I'm looking for the English word. It's
what is red?
It's not double Dutch speaking. There's a word for it. I just forgot.
Games we don't know. Red.
It's a game where you play. You have two people standing on opposite sides, and then there's someone in the middle, and you're trying to hit them with a small ball. It's a very soft ball, not a football.
Cricket.
Cricket.
Not cricket. It's not cricket. You people. Us, we used to call it kati.
Oh.
And we used to play it even with ladies, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, cricket. There was no cricket in those suburbs.
Cricket.
So I'm saying cricket. Anyway. Yeah, over to you, Beatrice, to wrap it up for today.
So, guys, we're coming to a close of our session. We like to keep it short and sweet. So hopefully you're able to tune in for the next one. So please tune in on our Facebook, our social media pages, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, for all updates on the next Unplugged series. But I also want to point out that we are now coming up to the planning process and the annual YouLead Summit. We did our consultations a while back. Hey! And this year's theme is around the African Free Trade Continental Area Agreement. How can Africa's young innovators make the AFCFTA magic happen? So wherever you're tuning in from, we will be hosting this summit partially virtually for those that can travel to Arusha, Tanzania, and partially physically and partially virtually for those that can travel to Arusha, Tanzania. Please feel free to apply, and those who can tune in virtually. If you don't get the opportunity to join us in Arusha, be sure you'll be able to participate virtually. Look out for our call for applications that will be launching out in a month or so. And yeah, I have nothing else but to say our appreciation to our guests, Akimana and Danaya Dennis, our forever grateful alumni, and we're happy to see the progress that you're making. And we hope to share more stories in the coming future. Congratulations to Danaya for launching his organization Connector Hub, and for Akimana for launching her book, The Scars That, I keep forgetting the name, but I know it's The Scars That Lead Us, yes?
The scars that shape us.
Scars that shape us. The scars that shape us. Feel free to reach out to her. She will share her social medias as well on the chat quickly, so you're able to get a copy of the book. She did mention it's not available in Africa, but she's happy to find a way to get the book to you. Thank you again to Fiona Kemigisha for joining us today. And she has just shown her face, and she will be the face of YouLead Unplugged moving forward. Of course, we'll be jumping in every now and then.
Yep.
To support her, but she'll be joining us moving forward and hosting our future on the platform. And thank you to everyone that joined us today. I hope you had fun from the comments that we're seeing in the chat, and I'm hoping it's the same on social media, on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, that you guys had fun, as much fun as we did today, and sharing the likes that you have similar to our guests. And their experiences that they shared on their journeys in writing their books and in starting their organization. I don't have anything else to say, but thank you again. And Franklin, if you have any last words before we bring the session to a close with one of our documentaries or songs, so people get to hear more about us.
Yep, nothing to add, just to say good night, Africa, for those who are sleeping, that is.
Night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
MC Benny. Come on, East Africa. It's a party.
Tell them. Afrika Mashariki. Twaja pamoja.
From country to country, yeah, we gotta work together. We are leaders now, aiming higher for the better. Together, to make our nations greater, while sharing to empower. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, let your dream be a
work harder if I wanted to retire blissfully. A woman, she makes you taller. She's something like a spine. A girlfriend is nothing more than a sling or a back brace, nothing a lot more than a care package after earthquake. See, in our days, most of us are too willing to sign packages a little.